email me a couple of different ways. Log on to csnphilly.com and then put in our It's Your Call or IYC title under the search. That'll bring you to my webpage, and that's where you can leave me or the ladies a comment. Or if you'd like, you can email me directly with your suggestions, your thoughts about the holidays at tcn_IYC@comcastnetwork.com. And as always, you can find us on Facebook, MySpace, or YouTube. I do want to remind you that coming up later in the show, we're going to have some great holiday suggestions when it comes to gifts, because we're going to be unveiling the latest characters from Buyer's Choice. Now, you know, every year here on the It's Your Call Lynn Doyle Holiday Special, we always feature something that we hope you'll be able to enjoy at home, and that'll be coming up momentarily. Right now, though, I want to turn back to the ladies, because we talked a little bit about the professional aspect of it, of getting ready for the holidays. What about personally? The kids have always had, you know, lots and lots of presents under the tree. There's a certain expectation from sisters, brothers, mom, dad, grandparents. And now this year you're faced with, my checkbook's not quite as flush as it used to be. What do you do?
Again, this is something that we are all faced with, and if we're not, there's somebody in our pipeline who is affected by it. And again, the thing to do is to be positive. One of the recommendations that we have made, and we deal many times, of course, with businesses, but that translates into personal lives, is, of course, the idea of a charity gift card that can be any amount of money, but the charity gift card allows you to, for the recipient who receives the card designates their charity that they would want to have the gift go to, and it is given in the recipient's name. A nice idea. But one of my clients who had done this actually in an office environment said that the anonymous giving, when they gave something anonymous, and that can be translated into personal lives as well, was the most rewarding part of that.
And what about gift cards? Are they useful?
I think gift cards will be very useful this year. First of all, I think one good tip is that if you have a large family like I do, I really enjoy picking things out for people individually, but it's not entirely realistic this year. So I'm doing couples gifts. Instead of buying something for my sister and her husband, or maybe my sister or husband and their children, I'm getting a gift certificate that the whole family can enjoy. And one of the things I've done recently, even for my own daughter who just had a birthday, I bought her a gift certificate to a restaurant to go out with her friends. She's turning 21. And I also stumbled upon a coupon for the same restaurant, so I put the coupon in the envelope with the gift certificate, and that made the gift certificate go further. And another thing really nice about gift certificates is if your children are mature enough to wait till after Christmas, get them something to open, but they can make out so much better a couple weeks down the road. So we're planning on going out to dinner at the mall that night, making it a fun night, and then I'll just disperse them and let them see how well they can do with what I got them.
It really sounds like this year we need to be as creative as we can possibly be when it comes to shopping.
Yes, and I also think since 2009 has absolutely been a year to regroup and take stock, that you don't want to start 2010 going in the wrong direction.
Good.
So
Good point.
It's a great idea to come up with some sort of realistic budget, and then to help you, I'm sure everybody has somebody else who also is trying to stay within their boundaries. So maybe ask one of your friends to be a coach, sort of train each other, be coaches together, and shop together and report in, so that it can be fun and you get a little bit of support to stay within your boundaries.
And we need to be creative as well. There is so much value in selecting a beautiful card and having a handwritten message that captures something that you've done with that person, or a quote that might be meaningful to them. And there's value in the handwritten message today more than ever before.
So you're saying personalize things more than ever.
Personalize things, yes, definitely personalize things more than ever. Be creative with that. And the studies show that people, as we delete emails so fast, we don't delete the handwritten notes and things. And I have a college-age son and one who's just in the workforce, and the one thing I wanted to do, and I always do, is handwrite them messages, special messages on holidays, on birthdays, and I find these things kept in places and they're not discarded. So maybe in a family environment, you, instead of giving everybody a gift, you pick names this year.
That's a good suggestion as well. And is it okay to be honest and say, hey, listen, guys, you know, it's a tough year for us, and, you know, we're just going to scale back, or maybe we're going to take ourselves out, or if someone says, don't buy me a gift,
Don't buy
Should you
it.
assume that they mean
Yes,
it?
don't, absolutely.
My dad's passed away. God rest his soul. I adored him. Every year he said, Julie, don't buy me a gift. And he truly was the man who had everything. He had gotten to the point in his life where he had everything he wanted, clothes-wise, sports-wise, entertainment-wise. And I always bought him something. And it really was a big waste. I know I really could have made him happier if I didn't buy him that gift.
Okay, on that note, thank you, Julia. I really appreciate all of the tips that you were able to give us, and we hope that you have a wonderful holiday season.
Thank you, Lynn. You too.
Lynn, the same for you. I really appreciate the perspective that you gave us from a business point of view. I think that will come in handy for a lot of people watching. So you have a holiday season that's very merry as well.
Thank you, Lynn.
We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, one of my favorite segments, we're going to introduce you once again to Joyce Byers, and she is going to unveil some of the latest Byers Choice collection. Stay with us. Our holiday special here on It's Your Call continues right after this.
Lynn Doyle's jewelry provided by David Craig Diamonds and Fine Jewelry, Newtown, Pennsylvania.
Transportation for It's Your Call guests provided by Preferred Car and Limousine.
Welcome back, everyone, to one of our annual holiday shows and the Byers Choice Collection. It's become an annual tradition here as well. Next up, we're going to share with you some old favorites and some new ones for this year, and we'll tell you how you can help local businesses with your shopping decisions this season. I'm Lynn Doyle, and joining me now, an old friend of the program, Joyce Byers, who is the founder and designer of Byers Choice. It's a company well known for its collections of Christmas carolers, figurines, and it's a business that began on Joyce's dining room table in the late 60s. Today, the family oversees a team of 180 artisans in Pennsylvania who handcraft these same creations. Joyce, welcome back and happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you, and thank you for having us back.
I tell you, every time I see the collection, I just get a big smile on my face because I know that the season is right around the corner. This year in particular, I'm really impressed by some of the creations. Before we get to them, though, explain to people how this passion started for you.
It started as a hobby, and it just kept growing and growing and growing. I made the first ones for our own family, and then we took them to a women's exchange in Wayne, Pennsylvania, and from there, more people saw them, more people wanted them, and now they're all over the country.
And they are truly a Christmas tradition for many families.
Absolutely. It's been 30 years that we've been an official business, and many of our people have been with us for 30 years.
You know, people who watch the show know, obviously, I have a lot of Christmas collections, and I never had the Byers Choice. For some reason, it had eluded me, but after you were on the show the first time, and I was, you know, so impressed with them, I've now started a collection of my own, and I have to tell you, it continues to grow. It kind of becomes like all the other Christmas collections. It becomes an obsession because you want the latest and the greatest, or the ones that, you know, somehow affect you personally.
That's right, and we have a lot of different characters and speak to a lot of different people.
Well, let's speak to the people about this year's favorites. Now, the gingerbread family and the gingerbread house, something that a lot of people relate to because first they like the gingerbread.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So tell me about this collection.
Well, if you've ever made a gingerbread house, it's lots of fun, but it can be a lot of work, and it doesn't always make it. So we've provided these that will last for years, and they're very colorful, and I think they're lots of fun.
I actually got